Hi, everyone, and welcome to Off the Record, the sports podcast. Breaking news, hard opinion, and a little bit of jibber, maybe a bit more than normal today. I'm Andrew Webster from The Australian, and I'm joined by my podcasting partner in crime, Philip Ronald Rothfield from the Daily Telegraph. Hi, Buzz.
Hello, Webby. How are you?
I'm bursting with enthusiasm.
Well, I actually had I don't know if they were complaints, but comments last week that we were both a little bit angry.
Well,
we both had the shits, and I tried to explain it to someone on social media that at the end of a really long rugby league season, which started all that time ago, and fights with various people, it does wear you down.
Well, as you know,
and part of my toughest gig this year is putting up with you every Tuesday.
Putting up with
shit on me.
But I love doing it so much.
Yes, I know you do.
I just had a bit, as we'll explain, I had a bit going on early last week, as you exclusively, as you wrote.
I felt really bad after that, and I know you're going to talk about it, and I can understand why you were not yourself.
A bit shitty.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm good. Anyway, let's Buzz, coming up on the show today, Buzz has some breaking news on the future of Toby Sexton. We try to wrap our heads around Headbutt Gate and whether Ashley Klein should officiate the grand final. And in our very popular war story segment, Buzz is going to grill me about being an urban gay warrior. Not a New Zealand warrior. That's the other Andrew Webster. Who is a good guy. Do you know Andrew Webster?
I think he's a terrific fellow. I really do.
Well, after your...
Did you see him at that press conference recently?
With the whistle? That's what I should have for you.
Yes.
Well, you know, like...
You'd be blowing it a lot.
That SEN story in your column on Sunday, it dropped on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And he was just lost that finals match, and his phone's lit up with messages, and he's going, "What's going on here?" It's like people were sending me messages, not him.
I did clearly explain it was senior journalist Andrew Webster, not Warriors coach.
Exactly. Listen, just a shout out to our friends at Code Sports. You can get an annual subscription to Australia's best sports website for just $49. Features Australia's best sports journalism. The app is a ripper. Codesports.com.au/OTR to get the special discount. So I'm going to be more excited about your champ of the week this week. So what do you got for me, Buzzy?
Last night I went to a function at a core stadium, Sydney Olympic Stadium. And it was a 25-year to the day's celebration of the opening of the Sydney Games. And there was a judging panel, and we put together their first ever Hall of Fame. It was one of the best, and I go to too many rugby league functions, and I don't spread myself wide enough into these other sports. To see Kathy Freeman there, see Ian Thorpe, Louise Savage, Freddie and Joey from The Greatest Game of All, John Eales, John Aloisi, that goal. They had goalposts set up there down the end where he kicked it. And Jimmy Wilson, who did a terrific job, Jimmy Handbags Wilson, him and Barthy were hosting with James Bracey.
Oh, beautiful.
But they took Aloisi and Mark Schwarzer down to that exact spot where he planted the ball, then kicked it, ripped his shirt off, and he explained how he ran that way to his mum and dad, who had put in all the time and effort and what it meant to them.
How amazing,
But to hear Ian Thorpe talk, and Ian Thorpe swam in the pool, not at the stadium, but he carried the flag there. What an impressive dude.
Yeah, you can talk, Thorpe.
What an impressive dude.
I heard... I regret not going. I don't know why I didn't go. I feel like an idiot not going.
Yeah.
Because my phone's just lit up and with calls and texts today saying how good it was. But the number one thing I keep hearing is that how starstruck everyone was with Kathy.
Crazy starstruck. You know, this is a story. So Joey was there with his lovely wife, okay, who teaches yoga.
I've done it with her.
Have you?
I've done it with
Joey.
Joey.
How did you go?
I'm one of the greatest exponents of the downward-facing dog.
So it's Kate, right?
The cobra.
Kate
baby
Johns.
cobra.
Yeah. So
Scorpion. Yep, sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, Joey was all he wanted to do was meet Kathy Freeman and have a chat. And Joey's won Origins, Joey's won Grand Finals, Joey's on Joey's
an
done
immortal.
everything. He's an immortal.
Yeah.
All he wanted to do was meet Freeman. But he was so nervous, I swear to you, it's a true story. He had to turn to his wife and do some yoga, breathing exercises to quell his anxiety.
That's so good.
And I'll tell you what Freddie was doing. Freddie has done everything Joey's done bar from the immortal. He actually came over and gave me a hug, Freddie, which was very because
you'd had a blue the week before,
yeah, we'd had
or frostiness.
Yeah, he'd had a frostiness is a good word. Freddie took his Olympic torch out there. He was explaining how he'd run into Parramatta with the torch, and he got to keep the torch, and he's kept it. It's a treasure. But he took it there last night. He too, all he wanted was Ian Thorpe's autograph on it and Kathy Freeman's autograph on it. But again, even though these guys had done, they were scared to go up to these people.
Isn't that incredible?
And the stadium staff sort of escorted him across and did the introduction.
Yeah, the great Brad Fittler.
Webby,
they'd be just in awe of him, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and I was on a great table with your mate Betty Brown. Tristan Hay was there, who told me afterwards it was the best function he's ever been to. It was out in the middle of the stadium. So you're sitting there, your table's there, and you're thinking, oh, that's where Thurston kicked the goal in the 15 grand final. That's where Fafita planted the football. Kathy, her speech when she spoke about the last 80 metres when she hit the exit and the crowd lifted her. It was a good function.
Now good.
Yeah.
Good.
So there'll be another one in 50 years. 50-year celebration. If you're still around,
good.
You've got to go.
I haven't budgeted to go for another 2 years. So, well, my champ's a long way from the middle of the Olympic Stadium. Terence Crawford made boxing history on Sunday when he defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez, unanimous decision. He controlled the fight all the way through the 12 rounds, or most of the 12 rounds. It keeps his undefeated record intact, and he becomes the first boxer in history to go undisputed in 3 different weight classes. Unbelievable effort from Crawford. Canelo made 150 million out of that fight.
And there were 70,000 people there at what's it?
Allegiant.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. Crawford said before the fight he was only getting 10, but I was told it was
50.
I heard 100.
I told him 50. Canelo
100. Anyway, whatever it is, I'm sure they're not going to go without dinner. But that's some effort from Terence Crawford.
Yeah, it sure was. I was at Canberra Stadium for the epic semi-final, and I was sitting with Peter Bedell, Fox Sports boxing guru.
He loves the boxing.
Yeah, he does. And anyway, he had his laptop set up on Netflix, and we watched it together. To be honest, I thought he won the fight clearer than the judges gave it to him.
Yeah, same.
There was a couple of judges only gave it to him by a round. I know. I thought he'd won. It was 3 or 4 more.
Yeah. When he got the money.
Remember what he did to Jeff Horn, Crawford?
I know.
Mate, he is a dead set superstar.
I hear you. Okay, who's your chump?
My chump. I rap them a lot and I collide with them a lot, but I want to talk about Peter V'landys and Andrew Abdo.
Hell just froze over.
Oh, did it? Okay. Yeah. No, well, I
Come
do.
on, Buzz. It's a joke, mate. It's a joke.
Yeah, I've made them, I've made them saints and I've made them sinners. Today they're a sinner. They're a chump.
No, it's chump.
Well,
it's not your column.
No, well, they're a chump.
Get your chump and your sinners right.
I tell you why they're a chump.
Why?
Because they were invited to the function I've spoken about, a really, really special moment in Sydney sporting history last night, and neither of them turned up. And I thought on such a special night for Joey and Freddie, they should have been there, just to get a glimpse outside our rugby league circles. You know, mate, it was a who's who there. Look, the Premier was there, Chris Mims. Who else was there? Johnny Howard was there. And John Earls told some great stories about John Howard used to come in the sheds and sing the anthem with them. And there were Wayne Pearce turned up from the commission, and Glenn Jackson was there from communications. But I was really, really disappointed. I know they're busy, and Volandi's running racing, Volandi's running rugby league, and I know Andrew Abdo's busy with his footy finals. But on a night like it was, they should have been there, not just to soak up Kathy and Thorpe. But I tell you what Joey and Freddie have done for league, not just on the football field, but afterwards as, the faces basically of Channel 9, what they've given the code, and you know what Freddie does.
Both of them, yeah. But Freddie in particular, like his charity work with Hogs for Homeless, and they've done, and both of them, they do so much that people don't see.
Yeah, and I was pretty shitty they weren't there.
I can't bag them because I said no to the same thing, but I don't run the game of.
Why didn't you go?
I don't like. You know what? I don't.
You're normally a little bit of a night owl function. Were you scared that I was there, and worried about a repeat of the Dally M's in 2005? I might whack one on your chin.
Yes, Buzz. That's why I didn't go. No, you know what? I'm not a function guy anymore.
Really?
Sorry, I just hit the camera then.
Yeah.
I'm not a. Is that all right there, Sam? I'm not a. I don't like getting in a suit.
Yeah,
I don't like. I'm not big on functions, but I'm kicking myself this morning because, as I said, a lot of people have told me just how special it was. But,
I even purchased a new suit for the function.
Oh wow!
You know why?
Is Ruben F. Scarf got a sale on? Do they?
It's actually Peter Jackson. It cost me $800.
They're good suits.
It's a very, very good suit which I picked up at Miranda Westfield. The reason I purchased a new suit was I was part of the NRL Hall of Fame function last year, and I had to present Les Boyd with his jacket.
Yeah.
And I walked off in a suit, my black suit, which was about 25 years old. It was getting a bit tight. And Patrick Delaney pulled me up, the boss of Foxtel, and said, "Buzz, we are going to have to measure you up for a new black tie outfit."
And so that's what you did.
And it's not a big rap, is it? Eh?
Not really.
No.
See, I've got about 4 or 5 Peter Jackson suits in my wardrobe.
Do you?
None of which I can actually get into. Let's get into, you heard it here first. A lot going on in the game of rugby league. A man who's at the centre of it at the moment is Toby Sexton. What do you have for us, Buzz?
Yeah, we're going to talk about him, aren't we, Toby Sexton and Lachlan Galvin? But as a news story, you did hear it here first. Toby Sexton, I believe, will be one of the first major signings at the Perth Bears for their entry into the competition in 2027. Now, Sexton is leaving Canterbury at the end of the year. He's going to Catalans. He signed a 2-year deal with Catalans, but his agent, knowing Perth were coming in and, he might get sick of it after 12 months over there, got a get-out clause after 12 months.
Smart.
Very smart. And
who's his manager, Buzz?
Who is his manager? One of the guys who works for the Orr brothers.
Okay.
One of Peter Bedell's mates. I know I've blocked him, so I'm glad I've forgotten his name. Anyone I block. Taz Bartlett.
Yeah, yes.
Taz Bartlett. So I let him go. He's one of the 7.
Blocked.
Well, I don't appreciate the fact that he doesn't return calls, so I thought,
well, he can't. He's trying to, but he's blocked.
Whenever you ring him, I get a text. You can't bag
people for not calling you when you've blocked them.
Yeah, no, but whenever I used to text him, he used to come, "What do you want?" And I said,
"Oh, that's not very nice."
And all this stuff, and it's just too hard. But anyway, he was smart enough to put a clause in his contract. I know Mal Meninga has a particularly high opinion of Sexton, especially around his culture. The fact that he was given the arse by Cameron Serralda for Galvin, which we're going to talk about, but he handled himself like a pro, and he went back to New South Wales Cup.
He's been so... Yeah. It's the humility that Toby Sexton's shown this year is incredible.
And that showed Mal what a good person to have around a footy club. And this won't stop them from signing Cameron Munster or having a decent whack at Munster. So it could well be the halves pairing that leads their charge into the NRL 2027. Perth Bears And isn't James Bracey a Perth fanatic, mate?
He is. Well, he's on the board.
He was there last night.
Oh, Brace.
Yeah.
He goes
Hasn't
good.
he done well, mate?
He's done well. I used to be on sports
At Sky?
Sports. What was it called?
Yeah.
Sports Night.
Sports Night on Sky.
It was me and Rebecca Wilson.
Yeah.
About 10 o'clock at night.
I
was tired and Rebecca had 4 or 5 wines, so it was always good TV.
Yeah, I said to him last night, are you actually going to come to a Sunday final? He reads the news.
He reads the news.
And he said, I'm coming back next week. I said, I might do a spotted James Bracey at the football.
Oh, he can't be everywhere, Buzz.
No.
He's very accomplished. You know what people, I don't know if I've said this on here before, he doesn't use an auto cue. He does it on the news.
He must. Yeah.
He does on the news, but anywhere else he just does it straight off the top of his head. I've seen him do it. When I did that, when I was on Sky with him, I'd sit there. The first time we went to a neighbour, I said, where is he doing off the top of your head? He said, yeah, it's the best way to do it. Can you imagine talking like that?
Yeah, I know.
That polished off the top of your head?
And he's a massive all-rounder. I like his Olympics. I like his tennis. Love his rugby league.
Racing.
I'm going to get into trouble here for rapping Channel 9, being a Fox Sports
employee.
Payroll. Andrew Lancaster was there from Channel 9 too last night.
Dragons.
Representing Dragons, yeah.
Okay, can we stop talking about last night? I'm starting to get FOMO.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Okay, Buzz. You've had a big week. You're breaking stories left, right, and centre. So Ashley Klein will referee the grand final.
Well, he's in front. He's, and I don't know if I know why. If it was my opinion, I was appointing someone to the grand final today, it'd be Grant Atkins.
I'm 100% with you. Gee, we're agreeing a lot today.
Yeah.
I actually wrote in my column in the Australian today, in which I lashed the NRL over the Reece Walsh jibber. I said you could set your clock to him getting the grand final, but also I don't understand this mysterious hold that Ashley Klein has on the NRL. I didn't think he had a great Origin series, and Ashley's been one of the best referee, one of the best referees for a long time. But God, just for the sake of someone different, I know they used G in the grand final a couple of years ago, and he was great. And I know G's gone back, but why they don't give Grant a go? Because he lets the game flow. Yeah. And I reckon you could see with Ashley on when he gave that penalty against
the headbutt.
No. When he gave the penalty, was it against Starling?
Oh, playing the ball.
Yeah, it was to play the ball.
There was nothing wrong with the play the ball.
And it's like, here we go. I just could tell. You could tell.
But you know what was worse than that, Webby? Was the fact that he penalised Hudson Young for being headbutted.
Insane.
It was the most insane decision I've ever seen in the rugby league field, almost. Webby, how can you penalise the victim of a headbutt?
Because do you know what the quote was?
He stirred him up.
You stirred him up.
But how often do players stir each other?
Ronaldo Mulatalo might as well just stay in the sheds all game this coming weekend because he stirs them up all the time. It's madness.
It wasn't necessarily a game changer. The Raiders had their chance to win. They should have been able to protect it. What was it, 28-12 lead?
That's right, with 15 to go. And they had chances to ice that game.
Have you seen a better game?
I wouldn't say
for theatre.
Oh no. I'll tell you, I listened to normal time. I was coming back from Newcastle. Right. I was seeing a mate of mine who's very, very sick with
it's no good
with brain cancer. And I listened to it on the way back. I was listening to ABC, who did a great call. And then I got out and then I watched the rest of extra time and Golden Point, and then I went back and watched the game. It was a batshit crazy game of football. I can't remember seeing anything like it really.
But I've been going since I was a kid in the 70s. As a kid. And I said last night on TV, I've seen Tests, Origins, Grand Finals, Darren Alberts, 89, Steve Jackson tried. Steve Jackson was at the game in one of the Raiders rooms, and I don't think I've seen anything like it, Webby.
No.
You always get caught up with recency bias, they call it, but
that's
mate,
right.
it was sensational.
I can't think of a more. Can't really think of a more dramatic game.
But weeks and Walsh.
Phenomenal. I think he should have been sent off. I thought it was a headbutt. But when he's like that, Reece Walsh, do you know I backed Broncos to win the comp about 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think you said. What did you get? $13.
$13.
Wow.
So
You want to cash out? Gamble responsibly and cash out.
No, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it a few
Don't
weeks
be
ago.
greedy, Andrew.
I tried
You
to
get
do
a
it
nice
right.
cash out now.
I was thinking about doing it with Melbourne, but the cash out was too small. What
People
do
are
we
at me
think?
to apologise to Madge.
I was going to know you beat me to the
Eh?
punch.
Why? Well, Bulldog's done his whole column on it.
On you?
Yeah, I said, well, how about you apologise to Jason Riles for saying Para were no good?
See, you trigger happy columnists.
It's funny gig, isn't it? Like, I didn't blow
Buzz.
up, but I wrote that he took the team on a harbour cruise, right?
Yes.
And did a cultural experience at Fort Denison, right? Then they came out 2 days after this harbour cruise and South knocked them off. So I wrote a column. Is this the right way to prepare for a game? It obviously wasn't. They got rolled by South. But they might have got something out of the cultural cruise. I don't know. But Webby, if we sit here worrying what the scenarios might be at the end of the year to be scared of tapping out a column.
Buzz, you're talking about to the bloke who bagged the shit out of the Wallabies and said they're no chance against the Springboks at Ellis Park, and they won for the first time there since the 60s. So I'm not going to bag anybody. Look, just in terms of the headbutt, I thought Gordon Tallis made a good point on 360 last night, saying imagine if it was Nelson who had done that headbutt. Do you think he'd get off? No. And this is the thing that I don't. What about Brian Fletcher? He'd have a good headbutt in him.
Yes.
That's a massive bare head.
Yes.
Don't you reckon?
Fletch.
But I think it's madness. It's madness. Yeah. It is. It's a headbutt.
Well,
what I don't like is the way the NRL have tried to justify it, saying, "Well, here's all these other headbutts that have happened."
Well, they spun that to me.
That's rubbish.
And it killed my argument a little bit. But if the last 5 have got off, and if Radley got 3 weeks because he had loading, well, the 5 who got off shouldn't have got off. So while they might be able to play the consistency card, we've treated him like the previous 5, they've stuffed up 5 times.
They're consistently shit decisions.
Yes.
But also, but no 2 headbutts are the same.
No.
So
have you ever thrown a headbutt?
I've threatened to.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
You
know this story.
Yeah, who wants a headbutt? Tell it.
My father and I, my old man's an old brickie. He wasn't an old brickie, but in the late 90s, we were at the Mercantile Hotel down at the Rocks. And my dad, we'd been drinking out on the street where, you spill outside. And we got to the end of the night, and Dad went to put the glasses that we'd been drinking from on the windowsill because it's too packed to get in. Yeah. And this young bloke goes, whack, and hits him in the guts with his elbow. And the old man said, "You right?" He goes, "What are you going to do about you old fuck?" And the old man went, "What?" He said, "What are you going to do about you old fuck?" And my old man, and I'm standing off to the side, and this guy
could have fought in most days too,
Dad put the glasses down on the windowsill and turned and went, whack.
Oh, did he?
And luckily he glanced this bloke, otherwise his head would have ended up on the Opera House. He threw it that hard. And he had all these young mates there. It was this guy's 21st birthday. Yeah. And I've come charging in and gone, "Who wants a headbutt?"
And what happened?
And everyone went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And then that was the end of the fight.
Look, I don't
condone that type of behaviour.
No, I don't promote violence, particularly on this podcast.
But I tell you what, if I had thrown it, I
deserve
to be rubbed out for the rest of the final series.
Listen, he's nearly my best mate. He would be Pete the Greek,
I know Pete the Greek.
And he can get angry every now and then. He was walking down the Cronulla Mall 5 or 6 years ago. And these kids were giving him lip. When I say kids, they were 18, they were teenagers, and they were, shitty people who were bagging him. And he had 2 shopping bags. He'd gone and got his groceries, right? And one of the kids came up in his face. He didn't drop his shopping bags and whacked him. He headbutted the bloke, right? But anyway, Greek opened himself up.
Opened himself.
So he had to rush to his car, go home to his wife and get patched up. So that a headbutt that went wrong.
Oh, my God. It is a Liverpool kiss.
Can we get away from this violence?
Yeah, I've done enough, buddy. God, how good. So it looks like injury is going to force Cameron Serrano into the selection he should have made all along and made Toby Sexton the halfback and Lachlan Galvin the 5'8", Matt Burton to centre. We're saying we're on air here before the teams have dropped, so we're just assuming that that's the way it's going to go. But it is Canterbury and anything could happen. Buzz, surely the way this is playing out of Canterbury is not great.
No, it's like what I said. You know, you make a prediction on Brisbane and the way Madge prepared them. And, 10, 12 weeks ago, I had an opinion that rushing Galvin into the side could have an unsettling, disruptive effect on the football side. And since Galvin came in as halfback, they've won 4 from 9 games. And make it 3 from 8 because they beat Penrith reserve grade. And Sexton went back to seconds, kept training strong, came back last week and was their most energetic player on the footy field, scored a try, and I think proved that he should have been there all along. And as I wrote in my column, now and again, Cameron Serrano will be a great coach. There's no question about it. He's still in his early days. Now and again, you've just got to be able to say, look, I stuffed this up.
That's right. There's no crime in what he's done. Like they thought that they just didn't think they could get to the next level with Sexton. Galvin, who's a great young talent, was there. Regardless of how you thought he handled his exit from the Tigers, but it didn't work. And look, and better judges than me will tell you he's not a halfback.
No,
and I don't subscribe to the theory that he's not going to make it at this level.
No.
I mean, the kid's 20. He's 20.
Yeah.
But you make your bed, you lie in it, and he wanted to go there and wear the 7. And it just, for whatever reason, I'll tell you what the reason is. He's gone into a new system halfway through the year, and he's probably a better running 5'8" than he is an organising halfback. So that's just,
you can't judge these things. Cam backed it up at the time by saying, the work he's doing at training, and the way he's unlocking other players at Belmore during the week at training is not match day. I'll give you an example. I think it's a pretty good example of Craig Bellamy in Melbourne more recently when Jerome Hughes got hurt. And he brought Wishart in to play half and he moved Munster and all that sort of stuff. Then they got beat. And he didn't worry about, I might be seen as I got this wrong and I should have played Pizzette. But I'll look bad, He brought Pizzette in last week. He admitted, that they were better. It was a better option. You saw Pizzette the other night.
The best coaches have the ability to put their ego to a side.
Exactly right.
And wear the criticism and cop the bullets and do what's best for the side. But injuries forced to Crichton has forced him into this situation.
Yes, where Burton will go to centre, and I presume Sexton and Galvin will be the starting halves. And look, I worry about what Cameron did at hooker too, to get rid of Reid Marnie. First true believer in that football club, signed out of a Chinese restaurant at Belmore.
Where all great deals are done, Chinese restaurants in Belmore.
Sammy Ayub, Trent Barrett, and he signed, and then he got the arse, and he brought Bailey Haywood in, terrific footballer, can play anywhere in a rugby league side. But missed 13 tackles the other day.
He looked tired towards the end of the game, didn't he?
He's not an 80-minute hooker.
No. For Galvin, Galvin, to me, in my humble opinion, I'm not saying I'm any rugby league expert, but they don't look like they're on the same page. I mean, his teammates don't seem to understand what he's going to do. And that was the criticism of him at the Tigers, and he just went rogue.
But at the West Tigers, there was no pressure because they were wooden spooners. And he wasn't this blowtorch or spotlight on him all the time. He looked like he was having a little bit of fun until he marched into Richo's office with the dossier. But do you know what I mean? When he went to Canterbury, he's joined a premiership contender and they put him in charge of running the football side alongside players he'd never played with. And, it's too much for him. He'll be a very, very good player.
I want Canterbury to go well. I've said it all along. I don't think they'll win it this year, but I think they can win it next. Pre-season under their belts.
Well,
all on the one page. You heard it here first, unless, of course, you don't. It doesn't happen. Like most of...
Well, you're not the first person to predict Canterbury will go from strength to strength, and that Gus has put the foundations in place to build, and that Leo Thompson they've signed from Newcastle.
That's a big sign.
Their forwards are a bit small for my liking.
Yep.
He'll add to that size, So.
But we're talking about a sellout there on Sunday.
Yes.
Canterbury v Penrith.
Yes.
Good storylines out of that one, Buzzy.
70,000.
Will they sell it? Will they sell it out?
Oh, well, Canterbury will fill 80%, and I presume 20% of Penrith people will come down. And
we'll make the long journey from
the
Penrith,
foot of the mountains.
From the foot of the mountains to the Olympic Stadium, Accor Stadium. Just a quick one. Big week for my very close personal friend Gout, who will make his international debut at the World Athletics Champs in Tokyo this week.
Webby?
The heats are on Thursday night, late Thursday night. Semis late Friday, final late Saturday.
Can we watch it on
9 or SBS.
Yeah, right.
So both 9 and
what
SBS.
What time then, do you roughly?
Late. I think the semis on the Friday night, which will be his real big race, to try and obviously get into the final. That's usually how semis work. 11 o'clock, 11:03, I think, on Friday night. As you know, I did a big piece with him, spent the day up there with Gout. I talked to his manager, James Templeton, regularly. I talked to him just a few days ago. They reckon the interest over there in him is through the roof.
Is that right?
He did an Adidas. He's sponsored by Adidas, and he did a promo sort of opportunity in Tokyo yesterday, and there's 150 journalists.
Serious?
Yeah, the international media is in love with him.
Yeah, right. You know what I wanted to do last night? I didn't have a tape recorder, and
you wanted
Kathy was slapping the night up. I would have loved to have got her opinion on just how Gout is going to handle the expectations and the country and. Which she did.
Has
she spoken?
She has. She did. She did a Channel 7 spotlight with Bruce McAvaney and said it's not. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's.
But
difficult
will he handle it?
I honestly get the feeling that he will. He doesn't seem like a kid that's phased by by the expectation on him, and there's a lot on him. But I mean. They built that $3.4 billion stadium at Victoria Park in Brisbane. That's being built, with him in mind, winning 100-metre gold and 200-metre gold. And it's like, that's a lot for a kid to carry for the next 7 years. So, hopefully it all goes well.
When was the last time we won a gold medal at a major athletic outside of Freeman?
Not on the track.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't. We've had
Sally Pearson. Sally Pearson. She won in London. But we've won in the field. We've won. We've won.
But to win a 1 or 200, Webby.
Well, we haven't won. The last 200 was Peter Norman in '68.
Yeah,
so it'll be something to behold. Okay, war stories.
Yeah.
You go. You lead this.
Well, I wrote a story. And I led my column with it, What's the Buzz, last week about your departure from SEN Radio, where you'd worked since 2020 on Morning Glory with Matty Johns. I've heard your Matt White show, and I've heard your show with Scott Sattler on a Saturday, and you marched out of the joint, and I can totally understand why. Homophobic, not necessarily over homophobic remarks, but the station's lack of action to block the person who kept hammering you with these remarks. Yeah, and it's unacceptable work practice.
It's disappointing. The biggest disappointment for me is and I thank you for all the supportive messages and that people have given me in the last few days. I'm fine. I'm sweet. It wasn't about it wasn't so much about the text messages. It's just that I asked 3 times for him to be blocked, and the third time I asked, I got laughed at, and I just went, "Excuse the French, fuck this. I don't need it."
Yeah, right.
I'm too old, and I don't need the money, and I don't need the work. So it's The hardest part was walking away from Matty Johns. Matty's one of my great mates and been so supportive, and he called me up to be on his show I remember in 2020, and I said, mate, I'd love to do that with
Mm.
you. And he is such a consummate professional. Everyone sees the funny side of him.
Mm.
He's such a good man. And the other guy is and also Dennis Kemp and Ben Hogarth and the maestro Alex, who's the panel operator there at Morning Glory. We're not working with them again. Sort of not great. I'm going to miss working with those dudes. And also Scott Sattler. We started that show Saturday
He
League
was there last
Kickoff.
night too.
Yeah, I heard. He and Sats is one of the truly beautiful blokes in rugby league and just life in general. So not working. That was the hardest part, to walk away from them. But Buzz, you got to stick by your principles, and mate, if they're not going to take it seriously enough, where I've got to sit there and look at that garbage, then I'm not going to be there. So, as I said in your column on Sunday, you know, I came out in 2013 because for a few reasons, but mostly because I just got sick of the innuendo and the whispers and the dog shots from people. And
very brave thing you did, Webby. I just want to say this. It's a very, very brave thing you did, because, you know, people do struggle with, and for you to go so public with it is, I'm sure, been very, very helpful to a lot of people. And, mate, I admire you so much for that.
Thanks, Buzz. Make me cry, mate.
No, but I want to say this, and look, I'm not good and I don't know the right way to say these things, but to me and to all your mates, you're just a normal fucking bloke. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
You are, mate. And fucking, you know, it gives me the shits. And, you know, I like a lot of people who work at SEN, but they've been so fucking piss weak in not chopping it off. And the fellow who laughed at you, I hope they learn a lesson out of this, that you can't have employees turning up to work under these circumstances. You just can't.
See, that's the thing, Buzz. Like I couldn't care less about those. I do care less. I don't. It's just it's hard when you're on air and you see them. You see those messages, and it's like, just block the guy. I've worked in different radio stations for 20 years. It's not that hard to block it. And like the second time I got told I got blocked, but it was only on one sort of part of the network. And when I got in there on the Saturday and saw this guy hadn't been blocked, I just thought I went, you know, do I mean that little to this network?
I think they're particularly regretful that they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah,
that they are. I spoke to Craig Hutchison. The respect you're withheld in not only industry wide, but very much so at SEN. He made it very clear that, you know, one day if you decide you want to go, the door is open. But for him to say that was good, but for his organisation to be so slack about your work environment really gives me the shits.
Thank you, Buzz. Yeah, they got to be better. You've got to be better. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's
you had any other offers since then? Or?
Oh, a few little snips.
Yeah.
A few little.
Mate, you're one out, one back financially now.
I'm going all right.
Mate, you're flying. You've one out, one back.
Do you know how I spend?
Yes.
Do you know
the rock star life?
To keep this production on the road, it's very, very
your
expensive.
Your full Peter Jackson suits you're talking about. Mate,
they're
not
too
cheap
fat
suits.
to get into.
Yeah. You're going to replace your wardrobe or
no,
lose weight?
I'm gonna drop 20. I got to drop 20. Maybe 25. Thank you, Buzz. Thanks for saying that, mate.
No,
you've always been very supportive,
mate. It means a lot
mate.
to me, mate. You're one of my besties.
I know.
I don't like seeing
this
in our industry.
No, it's not cool. It's not cool. You know what it is? As I said, it was, you know, you got to cop it. You do. You cop like comments from blokes on the street. You know, people would be. I'm not trying to be a fucking victim. That's the thing that I hate the most. But you know,
I don't think anyone sees you as trying to be a victim.
No. But it's like, you know, the other week there, I had. I'll tell you what got me. It got me this year when I did 360 in Vegas, and you know they had that live audience at Fremont Street. And as I was getting up with Reedy to take my place around the panel and sit down, I heard someone say "fag."
Serious?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm about to go live on air.
Yeah.
I mean, and some people laughed and some people groaned, and it's like, you know, fuck. and it gets it. And I wish I come from a
But
pretty,
you met-
I come from a pretty hard family, right? Hard
Yeah,
men
yeah,
on both sides of my family,
yeah,
and I got taught never take shit from anybody.
yeah.
And
right.
I wish I had the ability just to laugh it off, but there's a part of
Yeah,
me that
right.
wants to climb down there and find whoever it is and
Yeah,
throw a Reece Walsh headbutt.
Yeah, well, I was at the footy the other night when was at East South, and I was sitting with Dick, your
My
dad,
man.
and mate, he's that bloody proud of,
Oh,
know.
good on you, Buzz.
No, he is. You know that. You know he is.
Well, he certainly seemed
but,
to. He seemed to,
mate, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit that people talk like that in 2025.
He was in a good mood because he's sitting there drinking this
Oh,
Shiraz
mate,
and hammering the party pies. He said, "How good's this?"
Wow. Mate, I've never seen anyone demolish as many party pies, Dick, if you're listening.
Oh, that's too funny.
No,
All
well
right.
done, Webby.
Thank you.
No, it's a really important thing to talk about.
It is.
It really is. And I'm glad you did that column piece to show people and to show radio networks. Mate, it could have been a front page story. If that had happened at Channel 9 or something and a staff member had been treated like that, I'm telling you.
It would have been, yeah.
They're very lucky.
The only reason why I did it with you on Sunday is because I just didn't want people thinking I was fucked up by the messages. That wasn't it. It was the thing that made me leave was the fact that that the employer that I was working for didn't do what they were supposed to do. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on to Fearless Forecasts. There's no Friday night footy.
No.
What are we going to do?
Well, I'm going to throw to Canberra, Cronulla. And I love the Sharks. But just talking to Ricky yesterday.
How was he?
Mate, he was as shitty as any man I've ever spoken to in my life. He was so shitty.
Left him alone.
But he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bounce into the friggin' presentation night. I'm going to put a happy face on. And I'm going to lift these boys for one. And I want Cronulla to win. But I fear what Ricky's going to do with that football side this weekend.
That's exactly what I reckon. I reckon the silver lining is this will propel them towards the premiership.
And they're young and they can cope with 94 minutes. Yep. So that's my fearless prediction. Cronulla, Heart, Raiders, Head.
Okay, I like Canberra too. What about the big game? Canterbury, Penrith, Accor Stadium, full house, Dogs or Panthers?
I think Penrith, and I'm quite confident about it, actually. You saw Cleary the other night, and I still didn't think they got out of third gear in New Zealand. They've got more improvement than any side that played on the weekend, in my view.
They just slowly turn the screws, Penrith. They're machines.
And Cleary, the coach, Cleary, the halfback, all these guys.
Edwards.
And, mate, they're so good.
Mm.
And I think, Canterbury being caught on the hop and losing Stephen Crichton is a massive, massive loss.
Have we worked out what's going on with Kickout?
I think he'll play.
He'll be right.
Yeah.
Okay, I like Penrith, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. I just think that big crowd will help Canterbury to a point, but before Penrith pull away. Righto. Thanks, Buzz. We're more up vibe and interesting this week, weren't we?
Can I just say I reckon it's been one of our better podcasts. I really do. We've hit some important issues, spoke about the funnel last night, and yeah.
And can we just do a shout out to the Premier? You said you ran into him last night. He's still listening?
Still listening.
Premier, the open invite to come on whenever you want.
Well, yeah, we've got to do it.
We've got to get him.
Yeah.
I think we get him before the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come on. It's a matter of finding time in his schedule. Although he might have got the shits last night. I said, don't worry about a friggin' roof on a core. I said, can you rebuild Shark Park? And he just laughed in my face.
Did he? Good.
Yes.
As he should.
Yes. There you go.
Righto. Thanks, guys.
You
can follow us on our socials. You can watch us on YouTube. We'll see you next week. See you, Buzz.
See you, Webby.